Hello and welcome. Thank you for being here. I've created this video to help anybody who wants to create quizzes to generate leads, but then also wants to be able to create an emotional impact on that person to get closer to them. And wants to do this by segmenting their customers so that it really shows that you understand what that person's problems are, what their pain points are. And you can't do this if you just put people into a category. But if you listen to their questions and you show that you're listening to their individual answers to questions, and you show them that in your email sequence, then you're going to get a much better response from your customers. So I've created this to help you. Also down below, you'll find a description of what the problem was that I found, how I came about addressing it and what I did to address it, and the solution that I found. And hopefully you'll like it because it can be completely free if you've got Kajabi and Interact. And if you haven't got some of these tools, links to get them with free trials are all down below. So good luck. If you need anything else, please do get in touch. Details are down below. And if you need help doing it, I can help you with that as well. I want to show you how you can use Kajabi and Interact together so that you can get people to take quizzes and get a high level of segmentation so that you can actually send them really detailed emails in a sequence that show that you understand what their problems are. So if you have a direct integration between Interact quizzes and Kajabi using Zapier, then you can only pass the categories that you create, that you put people into. However, what I wanted to be able to do was to take answers to questions and then use those answers to put specific sections of text into email sequences, embedded into the emails, so that you get much more personalization. So for example, with this quiz, which has 12 quick questions, there are 576 permutations of what the first email to a quiz taker could look like. Whereas if we do the direct integration using just Zapier, then there are only 4. So it really does enable us to look a lot more carefully at the answers from each individual quiz taker and match the responses that we give them in the email that show them that we really understand their problems, and to have all that automated. So let's have a look at the way that I've managed to do it. It's all explained in the text here, but I wanted to take you through a demonstration of the actual implementation. So we take the information from Interact, which is where the people take the quiz. Although it doesn't have to be in Interact, you can create the quiz in Interact and then embed it on your website, whether that's in Kajabi or WordPress or something else. You take the information from Interact, which is the scores and how you use those scores to put people into categories. You can also, in Interact, look at the answers, and for each of those answers, you can then map a response that you want to put into the email, carry it through MailChimp, then through Zapier into Kajabi, which gives us all the information we need. Now it is a bit complex, so I'll try and walk you through it. The first thing we need to do is go into Interact. So this is the actual quiz. This is just a copy in case I change something, and you'll see it's very logical in the order you set stuff up here. And I've got my questions down here, and each of those I can go in and I can edit any of the questions. I can use image answers, so I can put images here. I can add another image here if I want, add another question. So there's all this stuff here. I'm just going to use the text answers that I had at the moment. I've actually taken 7 of these questions that I think are the most pertinent to the way I want to address people through the emails. I think they're the most high profile and the most important questions, or the most important answers, and I've then mapped those. But if I wanted to map all of them, I could do, but I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so I've got all my questions here, all listed all the way through. It's very straightforward. It's just 12 multiple choice questions. And I've got lead generation on, okay? So I can turn that off, but when I turn it on, it comes up with some extra options. So what I need to do is it says connect email list. And what I do here is that I connect it to MailChimp, a free account. Now, so what I've got here is my MailChimp account. And this, as I mentioned, is a free account. And in the free account, you can have up to 2,000 contacts. You only need the contacts very temporarily. Once they come from Interact and are put into MailChimp, that then syncs through Zapier into Kajabi. Once that's happened, you don't need the people in MailChimp anymore. So you can actually just mark them, and then you can go here and you can archive them, which effectively deletes them, resets you back to 0. But I'm just going to leave, that's one of my email addresses, I'm just going to leave that in now. So you need to connect it to MailChimp, and then you connect MailChimp to Zapier, which is so for example, I've got the MailChimp quiz answers to Zapier here. And then we bring it all into Kajabi, and we do that through a form, which I'll show you how that's all done. So the information is submitted into Kajabi through a form. So let's go back to Interact. So we need to set up an opt-in form. So the first thing we do is we need to create a form. So all I want in here is the contact fields. So I just want email and first name. So I do that and it puts it into my form. Great. Okay, and I can add new fields, I can do lots of other things, but that's all I need to do for this. Okay, and then save and continue. And it then goes to the integration, which is the next step over here on the left. So connect your email list. So I'll connect MailChimp, and as I've set up a free account in MailChimp, okay, it automatically does it. Now it may come up with a box if you haven't done it before and say, please allow us to connect to MailChimp, but it's very, very straightforward. What happens here is you'll see select a result from the list below to add actions. These are in my results, you'll see here, and if I want to put those on a different page, I could create a separate page in my website, in my case in Kajabi, for each of these results categories, and then redirect them, and I just put the landing page URL from Kajabi in here, and it will redirect each of the results to a specific page. So let me show you those. So in my landing pages in Kajabi, I've got 4 pages quiz, and these stand for various things like not quite ready, really killing it, etc., etc. So if I go into one of these pages, so this gives them some overall guidance based upon their categorization. And once they've read through that, it tells them to take action, to check your email, etc. And it explains the double opt-in that they have to go through. So if their email does go to spam or the Gmail promotions tab, they'll be able to find it and do the double opt-in. And then down here, it's got the next steps, which is check your email, join the Facebook community, and sign up to be first on the list for my group challenge. We've set up the opt-in form here. We can change the button title if we want. We can get rid of this, skip this step if we want to. So it's connected to MailChimp. I could disconnect it. Let me just disconnect it now. So let's just reconnect it. Easy. Here we've got these triggers, and if it's that, go and do this, okay? But we don't need to because we've set redirections. So now we need to map out data to your email list. So you'll see we go from the form into integration to the results. So we now click save and continue, and we've got our 4 categorizations here. So the first one looks like you're not quite ready. So when a user receives this result, we add them to the list, and the list is MMM Entrepreneur Academy. And once we've done that, we get a merge field. So we then need to quiz result with the value. So we update, we choose the merge field as being quiz result with it looks like you're not quite ready. And then if we want, we can add a tag to the contact. So we can add the tag not ready and save that. Okay. Once we've done that, we need to go to the next result. You've built great foundations. And you'll see here, I've added the same list. The merge field is quiz result, you've built great foundations. And add the tag great foundations. Okay. Same for you're almost there. Update merge field with you're almost there. And I can put whatever I want in that box, but that's what I've put in there. You're almost there. Let me show you. You're almost there. You just need the final pieces of the jigsaw and to know how to fit those pieces of the jigsaw together. And we add a tag almost there. Save that. And the same for the answer, which is you're really killing it. Same list, merge field, and we put in whatever we want to appear. Shows you can put quite a lot of stuff in. And then the tag that we've added is really killing it. We'll then save and continue that. And that takes us down to the detailed questions. You'll see here I've got on the left, I've got all the questions appearing. And you'll see that some of them have got this little symbol at the side of it, and you'll see why. So if I click on here, there's nothing. The ones that I've mapped have got this on. So if we look at this question, let's say to the question, do you have an idea what knowledge you could sell? They say, maybe, but I need to flesh it out. So here we would choose this list, MMA Entrepreneur Academy, whatever your list might be in MailChimp. So when you create a list in the free account of MailChimp, this is the list you'll use, and it will be picked up in Interact. The merge field that we're using is idea, and the value is you may have an idea of what knowledge you could sell to others, though you need to flesh out your idea. Okay, we can put whatever we'd like, but that will be what we will use in the text in an email to them. We don't need to add a tag here for these, and we can just save that. I'll just close it. You'll do it for each of those, and you will go down, you will choose your main list, and you will up your merge field, which will be relating to the question. So for each of these, do you have an idea? You will see that the merge field is idea, and the answer is whatever you want to put in that box. And you do that for each of the 4 answers for that question. And then you go down to any of the questions that you want to do that for, and you do exactly the same thing. So if the quiz answer, I'm not, how visible are you online? I'm somewhat visible and have whatever it might be. You'll then go and add the same list every time, update the merge field. The merge field in this case is visibility, and you're somewhat visible, and etc., etc. Whatever you want to appear as part of the email for that field. And you'll go through and do that for each of the questions for which you want to put something into the email. Do you have a process for collecting emails, prospects, and email addresses? So you can say, for somebody, I want to collect email addresses, but I haven't started doing it yet. For example, you can say in your email, you could say, you said you want to collect email addresses, but you can't decide on your freebie or lead magnet. Don't worry, help is forthcoming. That was what will appear in the email. And do that for every question. Now, you may be wondering on here where these merged fields are coming from, and I will show you where those come from now. So over in MailChimp, once you've set up the integration, when somebody takes your quiz and fills in the form, Interact will then take that and add that to your list in MailChimp, which is what we've got here. So what you need to do is, if you go into all contacts, you then go across to settings, pull this menu down, and you go to audience fields and merge tags. And you'll have these first few in place. What you'll then need to do is, round about here, start adding your own. So you'll see idea is here, visibility is here. So for each of the questions, I've taken something that relates to it. For this one, it's idea. For this one, it's visibility. For this one, it's collecting emails. For the next one, it's tech, and so on and so forth. And you go down and you create one of these. So you just choose add a field, text, and you'll put whatever it is in there, and that will come up and it will call it merge something or merge 15. So let's say I wanted to call it XYZ or XYZ. I could just call it in here XYZ. Okay, and save the changes. You'll see down here that I've got various fields. The quiz result is the categorization. So if we go back to Interact, you will see the results here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're the categories that it puts in. And that's what you'll get into Kajabi if you just take the Interact to Kajabi integration using Zapier directly. That's all you'll get across. But because we're taking a lot more information across, we've got some other fields. So we've got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one you can ignore, that's nothing to do with that. I could delete that one. And these have been created. Now, in order to take those across into Kajabi, the way that we do it is through using a Kajabi form. So you need to then go into Kajabi and go to Forms and create a form. And the form will look like this. First of all, I highly recommend you use double opt-in for many reasons, but do remember you may have to explain to people that they're going to have to look out for an opt-in email before they get their results. And then what you need to do is create all the fields that we're going to bring across. So you just do it using add form fields. In order to add them, we need to create new fields every time. Okay. So what you need to do is go down and you need to add the first name, last name, if you wish to collect that, email, and then their categorization, because we're bringing this across. Remember, in here we've got quiz result, and then idea, visibility, collecting emails. You'll see here, idea, visibility, collecting emails, and we add them all in by creating a new field. All right? And that's all it is. It's just a text field. It doesn't matter about making this field required. You can just leave that off. Okay, and then down here I've got an automation. When this form is submitted, add a tag, quiz detail. So I know that that person who will then be added into the Kajabi database has completed the quiz, and I can segment everything by people who've taken the quiz. So once I've created that form, in Kajabi, and we can look at the form, and you'll see it says it's like a normal uncustomized form for Kajabi. It just says join the newsletter. It doesn't need to look anything at all. You can just leave it like that because nobody's going to see it. It's only filled out automatically by Zapier, so we can completely forget about customizing it. So once we've got these fields set up and this automation set up to add a tag when it's submitted, we can then go to Zapier, and we need to create a Zap, and the Zap needs to look like this. When you get a new subscriber in MailChimp, create a form submission in Kajabi. And it's as simple as that. So choose an app, MailChimp, event, new subscriber. So we choose new subscriber, continue. Choose your MailChimp account. So you will, probably the first time you need to do this, you will have to set up the integration. Then you'll need to set up a trigger, and the trigger is just the audience. Simple as that. And then you test that trigger. When you've done that, we go to create a form submission in Kajabi. So here we go. The action is create a form submission. Choose your account. This happens to be mine. And set up the action. So the site, that's my site, screw the day job. So you'll see here, it's got all the fields. And these fields are pulled in from the form because you're identifying a form here. As soon as you choose that form, I could choose my default form and it would just give me those. But if I choose the interact detail results, it automatically pulls in all those fields, and then test that action, test was successful, and just turn on the Zap. So what happens is when somebody goes to the quiz and takes the quiz, and I happen to have this embedded on a WordPress page, but you can have it either running from inside Interact, or you can have it embedded on a Kajabi page, or you can have it anywhere that you can embed code. So if I take the quiz, and let me just fill these in randomly, and so if I then put in that email address, and you'll see, let me do that preview mode because I'm logged into Kajabi. It then gives me my overall result and my next steps. Check your email. So you'll see that already Interact has passed this contact over to MailChimp. And the MailChimp in here under the contact has my email address, my first name, my last name, and then it has all these quiz results. So quiz result, idea, visibility, collecting emails, tech, already selling, how to launch, back for more. All that information is here. And all that information will be passed using Zapier into the Kajabi form. So if I go into Zapier, look at my Zap, which is now turned on, go and view the history, I will see that that has just run at this particular time. So if I go into Kajabi and go into all people, I'm not in there yet. So that makes me wonder, is that not working? So what we can do is we can go to marketing and go to forms. We can look at the interact detail form and look at submissions. And you will see that this submission has just been made the 27th, 6:12 p.m. So it has actually been submitted. It's just not been populated into the people section. Now, if you look at my email, you will see, and sometimes this will appear in the promotions tab, but here it's not. Screw the day job. Please confirm your subscription. So at the moment, this person, which is one of my email addresses, will not appear in Kajabi as subscribed. So I need to open this email and just choose yes, subscribe me to this list. Okay. Once I've done that, close that tab, and I can go back to Kajabi, and I can go back into people, and there at the top I appear. Now, what I need to do now that I've got people coming into Kajabi and being added to the database is that if we go to this contact and then choose the three dots on the right hand side and choose view, you'll see it shows the contact. If I click on info, down here is brought in all those fields. Okay, already selling in alphabetical order, it brings them in, back for more. And these are the responses for each of those that I created in Interact in the MailChimp integration section that I want to add exactly as they're written there into the first email or into any emails that I'm sending out. Now, the first thing I need to do is take the quiz result. Now, this is the overall categorization. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give people a categorization in the first email of the sequence. So if I go into marketing and go into email campaigns and sequences, this is what I've set up for my sequences. So each of these top four are 4 email sequences. People that are categorized as not ready will get this one. People who have great foundations will get this one. People who are almost there will get this one. And people who are really killing it and ready to scale will get Q4. So if I click on the first one, because all I really need to do is set up this, and then I can duplicate the other sequences and amend them as I so wish. So in the first of the emails, and I don't need to show you all the others, but I'll show you this one, the first one, because emails, and I don't need to show you all the others, but I'll show you this one, the first one, because the principle's the same for all of them. This is how I edit. This is how I create the email. Now, if I go into edit content and click on there to edit again, you will see I can edit it in this section, or I can go into full screen edit like that. But if I close that there, you will see here it says show supported liquid objects. And I can go down there and I can choose which ones to put in. So it shows me that if I want to put their quiz result, all I have to use is that bit of code. So here I took a look at your answers. Quiz result. You said that number 5, which is idea. So I will then take whatever came from their idea and put it in there. So I can take those using this code that are all listed down here under the supported liquid objects. I can use those, copy them into the email. And let's preview that. That's what it looks like. But when it goes out, it will actually take those bits of data that you've brought in and put them into the email. So you can send out something that's very, very specific to those people. When you've created and finished the email, just save it. You can use as many as you want. I've used 7, which actually come in here. Well, 7 plus the overall. So custom 4 is the overall. And then the rest are all listed amongst here. Anyway, so I can use any of these to embed answers into wherever I want them in here. So sometimes I'll put them on their own as a line, and you may have noticed earlier that some of the responses start with a capital letter, which will be, for example, number 6. And some of them started with a lowercase letter. So I asked you whether you're building a list of email addresses, and you said, of course, that would start with a lowercase letter. So that's why that was. So that's how you do that first email. Now, I should need to show you one other thing in automations. And it may be that you need advanced automations for this in Kajabi, which will mean you need the growth plan. What you need to do is you need to assign people to the right email sequence. So it may be that you have different email sequences depending upon their overall answer, and I certainly do. So it's important that I create an email sequence for one category, and then I'll duplicate that for the other categories and just go in and change the bits that need changing in each individual category's emails, which is much quicker than recreating the whole lot every time. But in order to subscribe people to the right email sequence, you need to add a conditional automation. And the automation is this: when the tag is added, and whatever it is, and the tag that I add is quiz detail, and that just means the form has been submitted, then subscribe them to an email sequence, and this is Q1 not ready, and you'll see I've got Q1 not ready, Q2 great foundations, Q3 almost there, Q4 ready to scale. If the quiz result contains not yet ready, and it's this if bit that makes it conditional, which means I believe that you need advanced automations, so you would need the Kajabi growth plan. Okay, and then save that. And then you'll create exactly the same for all the others. So let's go and do that now. So when tag is added, quiz detail, then subscribe to an email sequence, and the email sequence is great foundations, add condition that quiz result contains great foundations. And save it. Okay. You need to make sure this bit of text here, whether it's not yet ready or great foundations, is exactly in the right case as it comes into Kajabi. So go and have a look in the various sections. So remember, in people, going to info. Me, when I took it, that was my result. But don't forget, you've got 4 possible results in interact. Go into interact, go to results, and if you look here, you can see these are the texts. So you need to have your quiz result contains something that's in here. You can put the whole thing in if you like, just copy that and put it into the automation as the condition in Kajabi. And there we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have those 4 automations in place. That means when somebody takes the quiz, it will automatically subscribe them to the right email sequence. So I hope that helps. If you want to try it out, the details below give you an overview of what the purpose of all this is and how I managed to work it all out and do it. If you want to try it out and you don't have some of the software, there are links down below where you can just go there. You can get a free 14-day trial of Interact if you don't have it. You can get a free 30-day trial of Kajabi if you don't have Kajabi. You can sign up for a free MailChimp account, and that should be all you ever need. And of course, you can also just get a free account for Zapier, and that allows you to run 100 occurrences every month. And if you need more than that, then $19.99 will get you up to 750 every month. And if you get in that many leads, I'm sure you won't mind paying that much. It's a really cheap way of getting leads. I hope you found that of some use. As it says below, if you need to get detailed step-by-step instructions on how to do this, I can send it to you. All you need to do is start a free trial of Interact. Use the link below, and when you've got a confirmation from them, just forward it to me at the address that I've given in the details down below this video, and I'll send you a document with all the step-by-step instructions. Okay, so there you go. Let me know if you need anything else. Bye for now.